We are live. Welcome to a live CK podcast here on the Basketball Zone YouTube channel. I'm your host, Leo Biaz. The Kings win 105-75. They put a butt whooping on the LA Lakers. It was definitely a preseason game. You really saw that in the second half. But in that first half, I have some highlights, at least of the first quarter, where we can dissect it, talk about it, slow it down just a little bit. Because obviously, as I've said in the past, when you're watching the game live, either in person, especially in person, but on TV, you don't really catch the nuances of everything, of the entire floor, what certain guys are doing off ball, what makes the end result happen, essentially, because sometimes fans only see the end result, which is, did you make the basket? Did you not make the basket, right? And they don't look at the process of how that all happened. And that's why we're here, man, on the Basketball Zone YouTube channel. Obviously, shout out to all the Cowbell Kingdom family. And shout out to Medici Sacramento for sponsoring this episode of the CK Podcast. Amazing pizza, best pizza in town. Make sure you guys check them out. Show them love. They're right across the Golden One Center, the go-to spot before every Kings game. So shout out to Medici Sacramento, my boy Danny, who is the best, man. So the Kings win. The 49ers won. Big time Monday Night Football game. That was fun to watch as well. Action-packed Monday. And you gotta love it, man. Sports is back. The best time of the year is right now, where we got the football, we got the beginning of the preseason, we got baseball playoffs coming soon. I think within the next few days, it's gonna be just a blast, man. October is phenomenal. Dad's birthday, brother's birthday, it's always good. The Raiders won yesterday. Shout out to them, and that was a fun win. They put a little butt whooping on those donkeys. We love to see it. But yes, the link is in the bio, I think, or the link is on the story. I'll start accepting some calls in a little bit. Just want to get more people on and just give you a little preview what we're going to do on here. But yes, just a 3 for 3, Raiders, Niners, Kings. You got to love it, man. You got to love it. I know I don't know why so many Niner fans don't like the Raiders or vice versa. It's like, bro, we're not rivals. We don't play in the same division. I hate the Donkeys, the Chargers, and the Chiefs. Like, that's the Raiders' rivals. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I consider them rivals. But that's just me. That's just me, though. Especially not with them in Vegas. Like, stop this little fake. They don't even play each other. They're going to play this year. That game is going to be a rivalry game. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun because there's going to be a lot of shit talking back and forth. But man, we can't wait for that. We can't wait for that one. How is everybody doing, man? Incoming fire. I appreciate you, big dog, as always. Kings fan. Great W for the Kangs. Yes, sir. Yo, your son brings the Kings luck. Oh, man, let's go, baby Leo. He was locked in. I mean, he was like watching it, like locked in. So that was nice to see, man. Start him off right. Keegan Murray is gonna be special, man. He's smooth. We'll get to that. Keegan's go to being in improv. Shout out, brother. And Tyson, perfection. Okay, so let's talk about just initial reactions, at least from that first quarter. The starting five. I know there was a lot of people that were surprised by KZ Okpala starting. I wasn't, right? We saw that in practice when I uploaded those highlights of day 3 or day 4, I think. I forget what day it was. But we saw KZ in those final segments of the Kings allowing the media to go in and watch those final, I think it was like last 3 possessions of practice, right? And we kind of figured, in that starting 5, that was the exact starting 5, right? With Fox and Kevin in the backcourt. Then you got KZ, HB, and Sabonis. If you pay attention to other teams league-wide, if you talk to other people, you would know that KZ is a really good athlete and he is an exceptional defender. Now, the big knock on him is that he's just not very good offensively. And that's just the reality of why he was, not as coveted, especially being a 6'8" long athletic wing. Like, he's not a 3-and-D wing. He's a good defender. But we understand that this team needs these types of guys, and they don't have anybody on this roster. They legit don't, and that's why I kept telling people, when it came to, who are they gonna cut? Bays, Cook, like all these just on the bubble, and people were like, they gonna cut KZ. I'm like, how they gonna cut KZ when they ain't got nobody like him? Legit have nobody like KZ on this roster. He's exactly what they need, and I get it. For him to continue to start, he needs to be a viable option offensively. And tonight, he showed that he can cut very well. And that's all you need to do when you play with a guy like Sabonis, right? In the past, we've seen just guys just stagnant, even on the weak side, just ball watch. And you're just like, bro, like, you have to know when to make that timely cut, especially from the weak side. You guys can hear my baby crying in the background. I apologize. Especially on the weak side. And we saw that today. And that was my favorite play of the game. Okay, so Tyler's calling in. Okay. Y'all want to come in already? Give me 1 sec. Let me put you guys on the screen. Okay. Let me pause this real fast. Let me assign him to guest number 2. Okay, can you hear us? Tyler, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, brother. What's up, man?
How you doing?
I'm good. 3 for 3. Raiders, Niners, Kings.
Yes, sir. I'm a Kings fan and a Niners fan.
There you go. So what was your biggest takeaway?
I don't know. The Niners look pretty good.
Yeah, they did. No lies detected there.
But they own Sean McVay in the regular season. They just
Facts. That is
just
very
gotta get
true.
it going.
That is very
in
true.
the playoffs. It matters. What do you think about the Kings? They're looking pretty good right now.
I think my biggest takeaway was just the effort perspective, right? Like that it was there. And that's something that Mike Brown said in training camp a few days ago or last week, that no matter what the score was, if they were up big or down big, that the effort would be there, that they were going to play hard no matter what. And we saw that today from every single individual on this roster. And that is a positive, a huge positive in the right direction, man.
Yeah, I seen Keegan had like 16 and 6.
Keegan's nice. Keegan's just smooth. Like he's already such a good basketball player. And
he better start.
See, and like that's the argument, right? And I'm sure a lot of fans are gonna be like, he needs to start, like pitchforks out and all that. But I think they have to understand that he needs to earn that spot first and foremost, and second of all,
I feel like he did in summer league. Did he not?
I mean, that's summer league. I don't put too much stock into that. I mean, that's just me though. I would never put too much stock into that. But yeah, he looked great today. I mean, I understand what coach is doing. Like Keegan's gonna play a lot, no matter what, whether he starts or not, right? And I think that's what a lot of fans need to understand. Like you don't have to start to make an impact. And I just feel like he made some good steal. Like he had a very good steal today, obviously against the 30 unit of the Lakers. But do you feel comfortable him guarding LeBron, or do you feel comfortable with KZ guarding LeBron? That's the real question.
Who, Keegan or who?
Or KZ? I mean, it's a simple answer. It's KZ. Like KZ is a superior defender, and it's not close. So
to be honest, I've never even heard of KZ. I don't even know who that is.
Right. And I think a lot of people don't. And that's what I'm saying. Like KZ, and KZ is an exceptional defender. But yes, brother, I appreciate you joining the live, brother. Thank you for everything.
Yep.
That was Tyler, and I think that's what a lot of people, or there's a confusion there. Like, who is this guy? Who is KZ Okpala, right? Went to Stanford, came up through the G League with the Heat, played a little bit there. They developed him enough to where he had a couple starts. he played for the Heat when a lot of dudes were down, and he is again not a guy that before the season started, you could say that he had the label of you can't trust him offensively. He's 23 years old, going on 24. He's still relatively young. He still has a lot of missing pieces offensively. But when it comes to just defense, his versatility, his length, his instincts, they are very good. Like, very, very good. And the Heat loved him in terms of defense. But if he can't shoot the ball, and we've seen it with a lot of elite defenders in the past, if he cannot shoot the ball, you are a liability on offense. And that's just the reality of everything. So if he gets to start right away, especially against a guy like LeBron James, you saw what happened today. He can switch on literally anybody. Like, he has a length, he has a strength to actually do that. So, and then we've seen Mike Brown say he has the ability to be one of the better defenders in the NBA. I think he said defensive player of the year. I'm not sure on that. Like, I'm not 100% sure. I believe he did say that, though. Maybe somebody can actually look that up for me right now. But if he's that good defensively, there's nobody on this roster that can match that type of versatility, that type of skill defensively. So that's why he is starting. Whether he continues to start is, a huge question mark moving forward, because Keegan Murray is coming for that job. We all know that, right? And then, or maybe you can move Harrison at the deadline and get other pieces that make more sense. Maybe you do go out and get a 3-and-D, an actual 3-and-D guy. We don't know. But as of right now, we know he's going to play a lot of minutes in Keegan Murray. So I wouldn't put too much stock. Don't get stressed out about him not starting. It makes a lot of sense for KZ to start off on the other best team's wing. And that's why Coach Mike Brown did that today. And yes, Keegan is very good. So it's like I want to be talking about everybody. It's just so much to talk about, at least in that first quarter, second quarter, first half, right? You got that little football stuff going on between LeBron and Russ. I thought Russ looked very good today, at least in the limited time that he played. He had that little rock the baby, and I said this in the group chat that I'm in with my cousins. I said, look, if you give almost anybody with explosiveness like that a straight line drive, that's going to happen. No matter if you're Jason Tatum, Okpala, the best defender in the world. Like, if you give somebody a straight line drive with that type of speed and first step in Russell Westbrook, hey, guess what? You're gonna get scored on. Like, you're going to get blown by. If you don't get blown by, he's gonna put a shoulder into you, and he's going to go through you, because that guy is a freak athletically. So that's where if you're Fox, you gotta position yourself a little bit better to put yourself in a better situation to not allow that, right? So those are the things that Coach Brown and that coaching staff will point out in the film session tomorrow. Like, hey, bro, like, you cannot allow him just to give him a straight line drive. You know what I'm saying? So it's just one of those things. Obviously, Russ still has that explosiveness. He can't shoot, right? He's Westbrook, but if you give him a lane like that, like, he's going to take it and he's going to rock you to sleep. And we saw that. So, okay, so right here, Sabonis missed KZ, right? He missed him on that cut. And I love it because we saw some strong side action here with De'Aaron Fox cutting through the middle. And then KZ automatically saw the fact that Anthony Davis was literally not paying attention, lackadaisical, and he continued to be lackadaisical because he got lucky that he didn't hit KZ and strive for a dunk. Like, LeBron was not in position. He was flat foot here, right? He missed him, but then he found him after that. Great swing. Bad recognition of the scattering report, because you want KZ to shoot that ball because he can't shoot that ball. So bad closeout there. And you leave the guy that you don't want to shoot the shot in Kevin Huerter. Well, at least his first one, because he was god-awful after that. But the whole team was. And then you get this shot right. But you still see who? Anthony Davis here. He's still ball watching. After this closeout, he's still here, and obviously he made up a lot of ground because he's just so gifted athletically and he's so long and he's so good defensively. But what the hell is he doing here, right? He was late on that pass too, as a matter of fact, but he still got it there. Bad defense, good offense by the Kings, great first possession. You love to see that. All right, let's talk to y'all about this, Keegan. Let me see. The link's in the bio though. If it's not, let me put it in for y'all in the comment section. You guys can come in, join the conversation. Keegan Murray's. Let me change this real fast right here. Keegan Murray was gonna be special. I would hold. I'm very realistic, objective about this. Let's hold our horses, right? Let's not jump the gun and say he's gonna be special. Like the word special to me is like Luka, John Morant. Like that's special to me. So let's wait for that. Oscar's on the line. What's up, bro?
What up, Leo?
How you doing, my man?
I'm doing good. Good to be on the show, man. I've been watching you for so long.
Oh man, I appreciate the love and support, brother. Thank you so much. God bless. What was your biggest takeaway today?
That they just played with effort.
Facts.
They finally looked like they wanted to play.
Facts.
For once in a while.
Exactly.
I've been saying it for so long, like you were saying earlier, how they were actually just kind of at least running around, and guys aren't just staring; they're actually trying to make moves, and they're moving off the ball, which is the most important thing, I think.
100%. 100%. Like in the past 16 years, especially the last 5 years, we've seen so much 24-hour fitness basketball where you just literally ball watch. And you're like, bro, like set somebody a back screen, right? A flare screen on the weak side. Do something, man. And we have not seen that. But tonight was a good first start, right?
Oh, no, for sure. I mean, one thing I'll say, though, I feel like they'd start off pretty slow, but then, the second unit picked it up, man. That was what was most impressive to me. Keegan Murray, smooth, man. That's going to be Rookie of the Year. I'm saying it right now. I've been saying it. I've been everyone, man. But I think I agree with you with KZ. We don't really got that good defenders as much as I want Keegan to start, man. I think KZ's perfect for right now. And then once Keegan gets that's all you need.
I agree, man. I love the vibes, Oscar. I appreciate you as always, brother. Thank you for calling in.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Thank you.
That was Oscar, man. Great stuff. We got Vince joining the show in a little bit. Vince is on the line. Let's bring in Vince right now, as a matter of fact. What's up, big dog?
What's up, buddy? How are you?
I'm good. What was your biggest takeaway today?
Today was a good day. I mean, it was sorry that I'm doing this like on the phone or whatever, but it was a good game. I think the Kings showed a lot of promise. I think they showed a lot of heart. I think my favorite thing about the Kings is that they never seem to really give up on what their game plan was, which I think was just showcasing what they've been preaching, which is just staying consistent. And they stayed consistent both on defense, being very vocal. You can tell everyone was communicating defensively. I think offensively, you saw a lot of their half-court sets, which was very exciting to see. I'm so excited to see their half-court sets continue to evolve, but I liked it a lot. I liked it a lot today.
Yeah, and I guess the one negative, if we want to call it negative, is the fact that I didn't understand why Keegan and Trey Lyles were on the floor together. It was one of those confusing things where and again, he's just putting guys out there, especially because Lyles probably had a good training camp. I'm assuming that. But to me, Metu is a better player, especially right now, especially with, like, Lyles, to me, is what, he wishes he was Keegan Murray. Like, they have similar games to where they shoot similarly, but one guy makes the shots, the other guy doesn't, right? The other guy is a low 30% three-point shooter. That's what he's been his entire career. but he doesn't have Keegan's athleticism, which again, it's not great, but it's better than Lyle's athleticism. And he's bigger. So I just don't like Lyle's fit on this roster. But that's just me.
I think they were just trying to test Keegan Murray as a small forward. Like when that lineup was out there in the second half, I thought that was more of, let's see what Keegan Murray is in the Harrison Barnes role. Like, you know what I mean? Like, let's see what he's like being the semi-post, semi-3-point shooter. And honestly, they ran some really good sets coming down on a mid-fast break. Like, they slowed it down in the half court, essentially, so you could call it a half court possession, but it happened so quick where he got that back screen to get the corner three-pointer where I was like, oh, maybe that's like considered a fast break play. I mean, that's something that I noted. And again, the one thing I love about Keegan's shot is that it's just so fast and pure. Like, it's such a clean-looking jumper. But I think it was just, let's see what he's like in this role, in this type of game. It's a preseason game.
Sure.
The Kings at that point went up by like 15, 16 points. And this is the time to test your lineups.
No, but they played that in the second quarter, though. Like they played that when the game was still competitive and they had guys that were supposed to be playing. So I thought that was a big confusion.
But when the game started to matter in the second, they started coming back with their normal guys. They went back to Sabonis. Like I said, you saw that for a very short instant in the second. You saw it for a large portion of the third, where it was those two where Keegan started to go off in that third quarter. Because, I mean, he had 7 points at the half. I think he ended the game with, what, 16?
16,
What did he end the game with? Yeah, that's 16. What I'm saying. So they gave him a lot of wiggle room to play in that third quarter and said, hey, you're going to be the go-to scorer. And I liked it. And that was with Monk on the floor. I thought that was a very encouraging sign as well to see Monk and Davion really look for Keegan Murray. I think it shows signs to why, I think he's a dark horse to be a rookie of the year.
Yeah, like both you and I have Banchero to win it. But yes, I do think Keegan's like 2-3. Like he's going to have a great shot to win it this year because he's going to play a lot, whether he starts or not. And I talked about that earlier in the show. But you mentioned, and this, I guess that was one of my negatives because I want to talk about negatives and just be objective because it's not all positives. And the other one is what you just mentioned is those three players, Keegan, Monk, and Davion Mitchell. Now, my negative there was the fact that we saw too much of Monk be the point guard trying to initiate the offense. I didn't like that because, well, I expect that because I don't think Davion, and when people ask me, what do you think he is? And I tell people, he's a shooting guard in a point guard's body. Like, he's not a guy that I'm like, set up my offense. You're my, floor general. He's a great defender, and he's a guy that I want, kind of like in that Patrick Beverly role where he's going to shoot that shot when he's open. But see, that's why I want Kevin, and this is why I told you why I want Kevin to come off the bench with him, because Kevin's, and you saw a lot of Kevin initiating the offense today, bringing the ball up the court. Like, I'd rather have, Kevin as your quote-unquote backup initiator, at least initiate the ball in the half court. Like, Davion can bring it up, but once you start that offense, I like Kevin's decision making. He can get into the lane, enough, and that's why I see that. Because
who do you think the main decision maker was in these lineups for today's game? Do you think it was the person in the 5 role, or do you think it was the person in the 1-2 role for today's game overall?
Ask that again. That way I just clarify before I answer that question.
So I'll ask it to you like more positionally based so that everyone understands. Who do you think controlled the offense more, essentially in the half court? Because I'm guessing that's what you're speaking of.
Yeah.
Do you think the center controlled more of the possessions, no matter who was in there, or the point guard, shooting guard?
I think it was the guard, whoever that guard was. Okay. Yeah, I obviously.
I'm on the opposite. The opposite. I think it was the centers. I think it was your centers that initiated your offense and set up the pick and rolls to see the off-ball movement to set up the passes if the guard got the ball back.
Yeah, because like Rashawn did have a lot of like nice little screens where he did kind of do dribble handoffs. and obviously
So did
Sabonis.
Rashawn, or so did Alex Len in the second half.
Yeah. I guess that's what you and Coach Nick talked about, right? Where you're gonna see a lot of that offense go through the big man, because of his reputation as a coach and his principles as a head coach. So yeah, I would say it was 50-50. Like, if that's fair.
Yeah, I mean, I won't take it away from De'Aaron. I think De'Aaron Fox played himself into showing why he's a point guard today. I think he showed a lot of point guard abilities today with his quickness. But again, I personally think that the majority of the offense that was run the most efficient in the half court, just in the half court, was through Sabonis. And I think that's key. I think the half court – I can care less about transition. I think when you have a Lamborghini, you have a Ferrari, however you want to view De'Aaron Fox, that is going to be fine. You have shooters now. Keegan proved he's a shooter. You already know Kevin Huerter throughout his shooter. Monk showed his ability to shoot. Even Davion showed his ability to shoot. I'm not worried about transition and the Kings finding shots. The only thing I care about is defense and half-court offensive sets. And I think the half looked very smooth. It didn't just have to be.
We got some technical difficulties there by Vince, but yes, I agree. Where I more so after thinking about it, right? Hold on. Hey Vince, you're driving, brother. I don't want you to wreck. So get home and we'll keep talking about it. Let's get some people on real fast. Obviously, Vince. You good? No, I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Go back, bro. Go back, Cole. You're making me nervous. Keegan had to throw in lobs to Holmes. Yeah, like that was a good play there. You're talking about the second half, but let's go back to watching some of these plays here. We see a little convergence, and I like this because even though they say that, what's his name? The kid out of Oakland, the point guard here, that he's been shooting the ball well in practice. This is exactly what you want to do because this is AD's shot. So you converge here, and he makes a shot. Good for him. But let's talk about this defense here. De'Aaron Fox, he's like, all right, post me up. Obviously, I feel like AD missed the cut here. That was an easy pass for a LeBron dunk. He didn't. He fades away into a beautiful jump shot. Swish. He's just so skilled. Like, he's so skilled. Then we see AD push it in the break here. Russell Westbrook, who I said earlier, actually looked good in his limited time, right? In his limited role here. This is just a great play. Great timely cut. And yes, Kendrick Nunn, sorry. I'm like, I've lost his name. I've blanked on his name. Kendrick Nunn, and my boy from the Heat. Yes. So, great cut there. Kendrick Nunn. Can he hit the shot? Yes, he's been hitting the shot in practice, but that was a scouting report. Just like KZ, right? Like, you have to make these guys earn it. So they have to prove it to you first if you can hit that shot. So, that wasn't a bad double team. Again, as I tweeted out, 12-3 early on, timeout, Mike Brown. The Lakers are playing inspired at this point, but the Kings weather the storm, and they continue to run their sets. And we see here the ball movement, right, is ran through Sabonis here. Okay. Here we go. Sorry about that. Okay. Oh, skipped it just a little bit, right? This is my favorite play of the game, right? So let's talk about this. Right? Again, timeout. This is an ATO right after the timeout, right? You see what the Kings are going to run. They throw it into the high post to Sabonis, right? And you get this cut. by Kevin, right? Right. And then we get this dribble handoff to De'Aaron Fox, right back into a little pick and pop there, right back out to Sabonis. The defense is in rotation right here at this point. Sabonis is like, okay, now I have a good, now I have enough space to get to work, go into my post game because obviously D Jones can't guard me, right? Teammate last year. He said boom, 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 and just a timely cut once again. Anthony Davis not paying attention to detail. Exceptional timely cut by KZ, and this is why he's on the floor because he can play defense, and if he can continue to do this, this is why I would start him. Like just phenomenal. I love favorite play of the game right there. Here we go. That's Viz. There he is. Bro, you made me nervous, bro. I'm like, this mother hover's driving. Like,
nah. Like that. I have a little stand. I have stands. It's good.
There you go. So I just went over my favorite play. Oh, Buddha's calling. Give me a second, Buddha. Give me a second. Give me a sec there. But yes, I just went over my favorite play. I don't know if you saw it right now, but it was essentially that KZ cut. Where we see this was an ATO after they were down 12-3, right? You see cutting there, you see a pick and pop, pick and roll there, back out to Sabonis. Now he has space to attack D Jones, and then I would say AD was very lackadaisical today. He did not pay attention to to the details, and twice KZ back cut him and took advantage of it. Just a beautiful play, man. So that's why it makes sense where you have a defensive monster like KZ and a guy that can cut. Obviously, he can't shoot, but we'll see. We'll see.
Torrey Craig roll.
Right. But the Kings ain't got nobody like that though. Like he's the only player on the roster that's 6'8" with close to 7 foot wingspan that can do these types of, that can switch, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like that's all they have. So
I definitely don't want to see KZ on a 5. I'm just being honest.
Well, I don't want to see any wing on the 5. Like, let's be honest. But
he can't guard 2, 3, 4, 5. But he can guard 2 3s and some of the 4s like Tobias Harris and things like that. But he ain't going down there on the 5s. But I do see what you're saying. Like he gives you that Torrey Craig role. He gives you Jay Crowder light without having to take on a Jay Crowder type of player that brings on that like, hey, give me that open 3 type of mindset. Like he's there to play basketball. He's there to hoop. And you need those type of players that are going to be the energy guys. I like KZ. I agree with you, though. He wasn't the greatest player today. He wasn't someone that I had my eye on and wanted to speak about today. But, yeah, I can see what you're saying.
So, I think after seeing this, we did see a lot of Sabonis, Rashawn, Alex Len initiate these offenses. So, I would say it's more of like a 60-40. So you were right on that 60-40, which is fine, especially in the half court. And if you do plan on being a playoff team when the game does slow down, all these reps in the season will help you ultimately because the Kings are notoriously known for being a terrible half court offensive team because everybody's always ball watching. There's never ball movement anywhere. And right now, even though they missed a ton of shots today, right? I think they were like 1 of 12 before halftime. They were getting exceptional shots because the offense was just rolling.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're utilizing what's best to them. What was best for them at the end of last season, the pick and roll. Mm-hmm. And why not use that with more than just De'Aaron Fox? Davion showed that he was good in the pick and roll at the end of the season. He showed that he could be a passer and a scorer at times. I get it against second-end talent, but you're viewing him as a bench player. By the way, let's not forget to talk about Davion's defense. Davion's defense in today's game once again was showcased. Great footwork, great hip movement, the ability, the instincts to jump after passes, to dig down deep on post entries. Like Davion was solid today. But yeah, I think they're just utilizing what's best of them, and I think. Again, it comes down to Sabonis being that guy and them knowing that great passer for a big, and to have that next to a De'Aaron Fox is something that you're going to want to utilize. And with all of these shooters around them, you can't go wrong. He's going to play that Ben Simmons role. And Ben Simmons came in today, and I can see what they're talking about. when the Kings say he's going to play that Ben Simmons role. He can just make instinct, quick twitch decisions.
Yeah, so this play right here where we see Kevin Huerter, and as I said, Kevin Huerter was essentially like your backup point to like so many degrees, because he's capable of doing this. But he gets to the lane here. Is this play? Oh, this is just. Oh, that's just Fox being muscle Fox. Holy smokes. Like, Fox is strong today. Like, that guy was finishing through contact, so good for him.
That Euro on Westbrook at the end of the second was gross.
Good cut there, right? Keegan Murray, Sabonis.
There's another pick. Look at create space.
A little floater. Right. So, great pick. As you had, what's his name? Romeo.
Soft pick, too.
Yes.
Soft pick.
And I would like Keegan to get a little bit deeper, but I'm not mad at the floater, right? Or maybe just jump stop into his beautiful shot. But those are things that tomorrow in the film room that they're gonna go over it with him and be like, hey, dude, like you could have done this. And we saw him make adjustments during the game. So Keegan, high basketball IQ player, ready to play, make an impact. A lot of people love Keegan, man, and rightfully so. The kid has earned it in terms of like fan favoritism right now, and in terms of whether he starts or not, right? Which I think fans are already with their pitchforks out, ready to go to Rumble for the guy. But I love the fact that, and I've been saying this for a long time, make him earn it, and if he earns it, you give him that spot.
I'm gonna go super bold. I did a couple appearances today on a different podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't made this bold prediction though. I said the Kings were making the playoffs this year. That was one of my bold predictions all day today. I'm making another one here just for your show because I've already made that prediction. I made that prediction a long time ago here on the show.
Yeah,
if you remember. I think Keegan Murray is gonna win Rookie of the Year.
Oh, so you changed your mind?
I don't think it's gonna be Paolo. The biggest reason why is I think the Orlando Magic have a lot to figure out with what they're doing with Jonathan Isaac, and I think Jonathan Isaac, healthy. Jonathan Isaac, by the way, showcases why he was a fringe all-star. And why
I would trade for Isaac if I'm the Kings.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you can give up a Harrison Barnes and a
100%.
protected first, why not? Give him the cap space, give him future potential, maybe. But, again, I think Jonathan Isaac showcases a lot. They're going to play Paolo, but Chet's gone now. I like Keegan, and honestly, I like Benedict Mathurin as big names heading up into Rookie of the Year. And I'm going to have Keegan being that guy. I think Benedict Mathurin plays a big role in Indiana. Big role.
That's if they get rid of Buddy Hield, because you still got to think about Chris Duarte, who...
He's going to be working on his passing this season, by the way.
Like, Chris Duarte is really good at basketball, and now having a legit point guard like Tyrese with him and, a guy that can spread the floor and Buddy Hield, I don't see how Mathurin gets a ton of time with those three guys ahead of him. Like, I really don't. But there is rumors that the Lakers could trade for both Miles Turner and Buddy Hield, which would make things interesting because both the Lakers and the Kings have a lot to prove this year, man.
You think there's a showcase game for Westbrook? A little bit. Because he showed. I thought he played very well.
Me too. And I've said that twice. Like he looks solid.
He played his role.
Yeah.
He showed that he's willing to play a different role. This wasn't the same Westbrook.
Barnes, Holmes in the first for Mikal Bridges and Jake Hart. They not even at Mikal. Like Mikal is
never.
Like Mikal is so good. How was the ball movement? As we said, it was solid today. As Vince said it a lot on Twitter, like they weren't polished, but you could see already like the improvement of what Mike Brown has already brought to this team. And again, there's just levels to coaching, and I just feel like Luke was just so bad at it. And great guy, players love him, right? Rashawn loved him, and just plenty of players that just love him. But when it comes to the X and O's, like he's good with ATOs, but the ball one was just shitty for so long, and he can already tell the difference between a guy that was very good, and a guy that was really good his entire career, and Mike Brown, who again, besides the playoffs, excellent regular season head coach.
I think Mark Spears said it best on the jump today, and it's something that I've been trying to say, but I couldn't say it as easy as Mark did, and it's such an easy way to say it is these guys, these players in here are young, they're hungry, and they needed a change, and Mike Brown brings this like pedigree to him where these young guys that have not been there other than Barnes is like, just show me how to get here. I'm willing to listen this time. They have players that are willing to listen right now, willing to get back to success if you're a Barnes or a Sabonis, and guys like Fox that are like, okay, it's time. Like, I'm ready. Like, teach me something. You've just by walking in here with your pedigree, you have my respect. There's nothing else I can say to you. Is you're not a first-time head coach. You're not just getting your shot. Like, you're someone with a history. You've just won a championship. Like, I'm listening. I want that. And I think that carries weight.
Let's see. Add to the left. Buddha, what's up, bro?
What's up, family? How you doing, man?
I'm good, man.
What's up, buddy?
What's up, man? We got big dubs today, huh?
Oh, 3 of them, bro. Raiders, Niners, Kings. Love it.
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
Ain't nothing wrong with it. I agree. Let's keep it rolling, huh?
Yeah, man. I'm excited though, cause Keegan Murray, he showed me like he got a little bit more in his bag than even what I expected. So like, I feel like when you surprising somebody that analyze you,
right?
Yeah, that's when you're doing something real good. Like that lot, like I said, that lob to Rashawn Holmes.
Yep.
That was a major development in his game. Like, you know what I mean? Because in the draft, like the main thing like I was worrying about was his playmaking. So
right.
If he's showing that he playmaking and stuff like that, yes, like it's nothing but up from here. But I feel like it should be. I like KZ, but because defense does win championships, but I don't know. When you got somebody with a clip like that, it's hard to keep him on the bench. So I don't know.
I feel like he's gonna play more than KZ. You know, like that's not like, again, to me, it's more matchups based. Where if you have LeBron James out there, and I asked, I forget who it was earlier. I said, who do you feel more comfortable guarding LeBron, KZ or Keegan? Right? Like it's super simple. It's KZ. Like,
but
without
what about
question.
the offensive end though? Because like I said, with Fox and Sabonis, you need a lot of spacing. And KZ, you're not really worrying about him shooting too much. So like when
but don't you have spacing with Kevin Huerter and Harrison Barnes? Theoretically,
you do, but you got super spacing with Keegan in there. Like it's just crazy. Like
or he's gonna get dogged by LeBron defensively. So there's pros and cons to that.
I think you guys are talking way too much about KZ. Like he's gonna have a significant role in this team.
I'm saying KZ, like you said, he got great defense. I watched him play against the
Bro,
USA
he's a great
team.
Defender. Like
guarding Dame.
Like
That's
he's a great
impressive.
Defender.
Right, definitely for sure.
There's nobody, Vince. Like there's nobody on this roster.
15 minutes per game.
15 minutes, yeah, 15 minutes.
Over under 15 minutes per game.
At 15. So what is that, over?
So over under 13 and a half minutes per game.
Oh, over.
I'd say under.
Over, yeah.
I think you have a lot of minutes there to be played between, obviously, Barnes, obviously Keegan. I think Huerter gets some small forward minutes as well, which also takes away from KZ. So I would say the under. And did we see a lot of Chimezie today? Because I feel like I didn't see him much, but I think Chimezie.
We saw him in the second half.
I didn't see a lot of TD. I thought I was going to see a lot of TD. That's why I feel like KZ might get a chance. TD ain't get no love at all. Well, at the end,
He's still coming off that injury though. I think TD's still got a lot of build.
What do you do there though? Like, it's seriously like now you have options, right? Like you got Monk, Huerter, TD, KZ. Like who's gonna play?
I think if there's injuries, you'll see KZ. I think it's really who's playing. I'd rather play split minutes between Keegan, Barnes, and Huerter than worry about how many minutes I'm giving KZ, worry about how many minutes I'm giving TD. Like, I think that's why I said I think there's too much talk right now of KZ. I think KZ is a good player. I think Miami showcased a lot of his talents really well when they needed a Torrey Craig type of player out there. And even now, like Torrey Craig's a good player. He's not getting like significant run where it's like crazy impactful in Milwaukee. He's just gonna be a good player. Like he's
yeah, but the Kings don't have that though. And at the end of the day, Kevin Huerter, like all these guys, they can't defend, bro. Like let's not act like they can defend because they can't.
They're gonna have to be.
So you see how Jason Tatum learned how to guard? Like he started guarding like Kevin Durant LeBron and stuff like that. So
yeah,
you
but
think,
he's 6'8", but like
so
he's
is
6'8"
Keegan.
and like athletic though, and like Keegan's a lot slower, different build than
It's
Jason
not a
Tatum.
lot slower. Not a lot slower. They're around like the same like
he's
slender
a lot
build.
slower.
It's a lot
type.
slower, bro.
He's a lot slower,
I don't think you've ever seen
Come
Jason
on,
Tatum
bro.
play, bro. Jason Tatum in person, god digging, that motherfucker's fast.
Jason Tatum has a slow-moving, smooth sidestep that makes you think he's slow.
But no, that's just quick.
That boy got a quick first step, and he has like a heavy
It's
shake
different.
on that. That boy is nasty.
He's different, bro.
He's nasty.
He's different. We're talking Jason Tatum, Luka, like different level, bro. Like I don't want to put Keegan up there. Like it's just too early, bro. It's just too early.
Keegan had a quicker release than most people want to give him credit for, though. He
Cool.
don't need to be balanced on the ground. Keegan. He
Oh,
can,
he's quick.
His
quick shooter.
His quick release is nasty, and the fact that he needs 2 seconds to grab the ball and up, like I give him credit on that. But like in terms of just quickness and lateral quickness and ability to be quickness with the ball, there's game-changing differences, and JT got that quickness for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
There's a game-changer difference.
Well, I appreciate Buddha for calling in though.
For sure.
Yeah, man. I feel like you always feel good with the win, but I continue to say this. It doesn't matter what the result is. It's about the process. And today we saw exceptional effort. We saw the offense be a lot better in terms of movement. And that's really what mattered to me. You know, whether they lost the game or not, it didn't matter to me. It mattered how they played, how they competed. And as I said earlier, Mike Brown said, hey, man, this team, whether they're up, getting blown out in preseason or not, they're going to play hard. And we saw it today. And I think that's the biggest takeaway.
Yeah, I mean, I give credit to that second half. What they score, like 23, 33 points in the second half total.
The shot started falling in because they were getting the exact same looks in the first half. Just the shot was not going in. Like, they were wide open shots.
Also, in the second half, it was a lot more different players. Like, you didn't see Fox. You didn't see Sabonis. I want to see Fox hitting those threes that he was taking.
Kevin wasn't hitting nothing, though. Like, Kevin was not hitting anything.
I'm not really worried about Kevin. Kevin's a shooter. Like, Kevin's a shooter.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, shoot. I'm really worried about Sabonis. I didn't see him take too many threes today.
Did he take a three? I don't think he took a three today.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't see him take too many threes today.
Yeah.
I didn't, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't see none.
Yeah.
But I liked the process in which we saw today. Like, consistency, vocalness, the star players engaged from start to finish, or at least start until they had to go out. Like, you know, set by example. And they were the example. And also the half-court sets looked fundamental. A lot of it was unpolished. A lot of it did look sloppy. They missed a lot of backdoor cuts. They missed a lot of backdoor screens from off-ball move. If you look at off-ball, a lot of missed screens, a lot of confusion on who's supposed to go up, who's supposed to go down off the screen, if you're supposed to backtrack after hitting the screen. A lot of little things like that. But defensively, I just like the fact that they were being vocal, and there was a lot of misses there. Obviously, why they got down early, but they picked it back up. And I give a lot of credit to that to Davion. I think Davion didn't get talked about enough today. He was phenomenal in today's game, just defensively.
Defensively, he was. Because offensively, he cannot initiate the offense. And he wasn't the point guard that a lot of people think he is. And I think we'll continue to talk about that. But yes, you know, the people that are watching, man, make sure you guys hit the like button. It really helps us out to get pushed out by the algorithm. When we had over 50 people watching, we should have over 50 likes. And that's just the way it is, man. Like, just as soon as you come on, hit that like, man. Or dislike. However you feeling. Both help the same exact way. Coming on, bro. I have a headache right now. I need to drink some milk and just recharge.
Some water, bro.
Oh no, I have plenty of water here. I'm a milk guy, bro. I'm a milk guy.
Man, I got a headache. I need to drink some milk. What is that, dude?
Hey, got milk sponsorship. Shout out to Chase's in Elk Grove, man. Great spot to watch football games, basketball games. Great food there. But yes, thank you guys so much. And on behalf of the entire CK family, Basketball Zone family, we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.